Coffee. Keep doing this coffee. Yeah, but it's time to record. Welcome back to the Late Podcast. What is this, episode 13? Yes, episode 13. We are back again with myself, Jared, Hunter, Matt,
What's up?
and our guest today is Parker.
Greetings, people.
Finally, we got Parker.
I know.
Finally.
You finally fishnetted me out of, like, the hole that I'm in.
Life.
Yeah, basically. Oh my god, bro. I didn't even know that your street was under construction. I'm basically just driving, like, 12 and 12. If that peaked on both cameras, I'm sorry. Anywho. Worst part is, too, I drive this, like, very tiny Kia. I'm parked right next to Jared's, like, massive-ass truck. I'm like, good lord. You're probably, like, going right up this hill. You know? I'm just saying right now. Oh, my God. That's about it from my life. That one big right there.
That's how
Fair
it's been.
enough.
That's the fishnet.
Nice.
How about you, gentlemen?
Not too bad.
About the same.
Good. Just at a lower pitch.
Been alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that high.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But like it's been busy
Been busy.
working and
I
shit.
feel that.
That's about it for me. And how's school?
Oh, Lord. Okay, so it's interesting so far. I mean, I'm
You're
engineering.
going to CSU, right?
Yeah, CSU.
Okay.
So, I'm in the engineering program. I personally love it. I actually have to stay here-ish, so extra content later. No, it's not. It's not happening. Anywho. I just know what you just made.
That'll be on a different channel.
Don't click the link in the bottom of the description. Anywho.
This guy's just
We're
trying to
gonna
make extra
open
money.
up an OnlyFans.
When you're a
There's
college
late
student,
podcast.
I have to say that you have to sometimes. So when you have to sell your soul, you have to.
I mean, that's
Just don't sell
pretty
to the
much
wrong people.
That's pretty much life. You either sell your soul to live, or you do drugs and you live off of drugs.
I mean, I
What?
guess so.
Am I wrong?
I mean, I guess you could live off drugs, but I wouldn't sell myself for
Right.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know, because I'd be paying for the drugs. That's a very big discussion that we just
Open
off
the
for.
book up too.
Oh my lord.
Pop the lid off.
I was gonna
No.
say my
Can of worms.
my joke not turned into a huh.
Yeah. It definitely turned into a
Well-
what?
Well, if you think about it, no matter what you do, you pretty much sell your soul. If you think about it,
Yeah.
once you get out of school, you either sell your soul in debt at college, or you sell your soul to some corporation and work your ass off for life.
I sold my soul to debt into my truck.
Exactly, right there, right
But I
there.
don't feel like I
But
sold
it
my
pays
soul.
off when you're going up that tiny hill or that has like 40 turns. So, I mean, at least you have a payoff.
My
Remember
There's a
tiny-
light
I feel
at
like
the end
I
of the
sold
bridge,
my
and it's a
pocket
it's a
rather
single
than my
Christmas
soul.
tree.
Right.
It's not the start of Dative, though. It's just...
I don't know. It doesn't
The
really
mini
pay off
LED
going up
version.
that hill. You can't see anything above you. So
Worst part is, too, it's under construction at night. So I'm like, okay, thank God there's no one behind me. So I'm just... Anywho.
Just
I
take your
somehow
breaks
steered off of that from my engineering classes. Anywho.
Let's get back to topic.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to say, we're going more into the fun stuff now of what we're doing in life rather than the actual topics, and this is just getting bad. Which
Yeah.
could actually make the content way more fun. I've done podcasting before. It's the greatest thing on earth.
Oh yeah.
For what it's worth. Let's see. So I'm in mechanical engineering. Most of it has to do with motion-based movements, electronic parts, etc., etc. So I've been more in the... I wouldn't say I've dabbled more in robotics than I have anything else, but... a lot of the stuff that I've been seeing through my field has to do with like a lot of applied,
Nice.
not even just like sciences, machinery, industrial workmanship, etc., etc. So
Right.
I have this one fair I have to do tomorrow, which I have to get down to CSU somewhat early and print out somewhere between 10 to 20 of my own resume to send to
Wow.
corporations. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck.
One's actually applied for in like Dover, Ohio that I saw. I'm like, oh my god, somewhat of a dream come true. I mean, the commute's gonna suck if they have something up here, but like, I mean, I was born there technically. If y'all didn't know that about
Hey,
me.
who cares?
So yeah, but I said it's kind of easier for just
Yeah.
my family.
There's a tattoo shop out in Dover I want to check out.
Oh,
The
shit.
rock and roll one?
Oh,
Yeah,
rock and roll.
It's
yeah.
literally called the Underground Tattoo Shop.
Oh shoot! Yeah, I think it's on East. Was it 12th? I don't know. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's completely classic rock themed, and there's even stuff you can buy on the inside too.
So how about this weather we're having?
I love it.
I love it.
Honestly, my next tattoo idea is gonna be like
I love
that.
it and hate it.
I do too, actually. 50 degrees. This is an Alaskan summer. Finally, we
Yeah.
made it to Alaskan summer. There's like 12 of them for Ohio.
Yep.
And we're in cycle number 7. I think the thing we're getting into it, which is
Right.
the greatest thing ever.
This
So-
sucks. I don't know what I'm talking about. I work outside and like I was wearing thermals all day.
Okay, that's fair.
It
The wind,
was
though,
horrible.
with due fairness, kills you. Like, I
It
was
was
walking,
horrible.
and my school, of course, is next to the lake. So you're getting all
Yeah.
that lakefront air. And
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, I was wearing these pants. These pants were, for the people who can see it on the camera, I'm literally pulling my pants like 3 centimeters. I'm an idiot. I was going to say meters.
It's like 6 inches.
Drastically, more or less like a half, yeah, about to say like a $5 foot long, any. Yeah. Speaking of
I
which,
think it's
bro,
the hardest we've left on the podcast so far.
I mean, I'd seriously be a stand-up comedian, but I prefer to sit down. So, oh
Let's be a
lord.
sitting comedian.
Yeah.
That's why comedians do podcasts.
You kidding me? That's a Twitch streamer. What are you? Which I tried doing and
Everyone-
flopped.
This is stand up. Why aren't you standing? Sit down.
Right.
Caesar's sitting. I'm sitting.
Right.
We're all just
I'll
sitting
stand
having
if
a good time.
everyone else stands.
Everyone else, stand up out of your seats, put your drinks down, and I'll stand with you.
We're good.
You exactly.
The top row people, we are standing.
You're just shut the fuck up and take another shot.
I'm 5'3".
Hey, get the drunk guy out.
He's doing profanities. What?
So you said your Twitter didn't really. I mean, not
Twitch.
Your Twitch didn't.
My
take off.
Twitter's actually.
But I was gonna
off
say
a little
your
bit.
Twitter's been.
Phenomenal.
It's actually pretty
Phenomenal.
good, yeah. No, I mean, Twitch, actually, I wouldn't say I fail. I like to just still do it occasionally just because it's pretty fun. Like, I can just turn on a game. By the way, I probably have not played a singular video game. By the way, I'm not like a nerd in that kind of like degree or any sort of kind of word that you want to associate with that. But I do like to play, an occasional video game. I just haven't done so, I think, since July or maybe even June.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't had like the audacity just to pick up a remote control. I'm like, oh, too much work.
Right.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, not even just to think about it.
It's
I'm like,
time consuming.
yeah, like if I do, it's probably just something like on my phone. I can like slide it. Do you know like have you all watched Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, it's Jerry's balloon popping. I'm like, you know what? That's the game for me because I'm doing too much math in my daily life.
I thought your game used to be.
Whoa!
It's a boy.
I thought your game was what was it? Geometry.
Geometry Dash. Okay, yeah, no, that one's fun, but it gets tiring after a while.
Oh yeah.
And okay, the worst part about that game too is people have found out that you can manipulate the game by increasing your hertz rate on your monitor.
Right
on.
So yeah, they're increasing basically level size now. Like I have a pretty good computer. I was able to finally buy one for myself in January roughly of this year. I think I wanted to say, oh yeah, I think it was like I bought it pre-built because I just didn't have the time to do it myself. I'd normally rather do it myself and just take the time to do it just so I know what I'm buying. Problem is I was on a time constraint and I just really wanted something for home because of all the world.
The world,
Anywho.
exactly. Yeah.
Right, and then people expect things of me. And I'm like, why do you expect things of me? This is the 21st century.
Right.
It's not my fault. Anywho.
It's not a phase, Mom.
It's not a phase. I'm just here.
Not a phase, Mom. You just made a bet. You just made a.
Excuse me.
What?
It's not a phase, Mom. You just raised a badass.
You're just a badass. Uh-huh.
Now, didn't we do a couple
Oh, for sure.
podcasts back in radio and TV?
Oh yeah.
Like me and you, and maybe like
It was either me, you, Derek. A mixture. Oh no. It was either me, you, a mixture
Robbie.
of Derek, Robert, and Mason.
yeah.
Mixture of the three. Maybe sometimes Cameron too, if you ever
Yeah.
want to just to like.
You guys
hop on.
call him Robert?
I call him Robert. Robbie doesn't care. He like calls it above.
Yeah.
Who?
This one guy that was in our radio and TV class.
But we have both known him since
Parker
the
went
first
to
grade.
elementary school with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me about your fun story, the chocolate milk.
Oh, I think I've heard about that one before. I think I just was. Yeah, but I say I definitely have. I just don't think I remember like the full details of it. But yes, I think I do. That was interesting.
Well, yeah, so it's
he's mellowed out by the way since then. Like
Yeah.
he's a good. I like him. He's really cool. But it's just
but
that
yeah,
was a weird story.
it's kind of cool that we're doing this outside of school now.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Okay. I got you. Okay.
Guess it's
Without-
better than smoking
Yeah.
crack.
Without worrying about a grade, how the pitch sounds, how it all actually comes together. Now we can just go.
That's true now, in terms of like
Yeah.
creativity, yeah. I hate being put on constraint, man. It's the worst thing ever. Like, so, before the initial wave of COVID happened, I knew we were supposed to do Simi Valley, right? Like a
Yeah.
rendition of it. Bro, I wanted to go all in on
Right.
that. Like, I mean, I don't, not to, like, copyright infringement, because they're owned by Facebook now, and that's, like, 40 different corporations that could sue our ass.
Right.
On the ready is like, oh, he said did $40,000, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm peaking way too loud.
He said he's not having a good time. Get him. I'll never forget.
I'm gonna like straight up.
Sorry, headphone users.
I'll never forget that moment when.
Well, you just put it in the tagline on the bottom of their thumbnail, just like headphone warning. That's just gonna be your thumbnail. Nothing generic. Literally, I will make it for you. I have a. Actually, I don't. Never mind. I was gonna say I have a Photoshop.
Yeah,
We're
Mason.
gonna make Parker our thumbnail today.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Duh, I'm the legend.
Yeah, Mason wanted me
Like
to do
Barney
that.
Don't worry, your Twitter will be in the description.
Oh hell yeah.
Mason wanted me to do that one line from Johnny where he's like, I'm just straight up not having a good,
Good
time
time.
right now.
Yeah, I love. That's my favorite one. Like I'm straight up not having a good time. Right now. Hey, that was me up the hill.
Yeah,
Except
exactly.
with the right in the background.
Hell, when I know there's no one on the road, I just drive in the middle.
So do I. And then you
Because
see
your
a car,
truck's
you go,
twice
"Wow."
the mass of my car. On suspension.
Well,
I stood up and I was still small. And I'm like, oh, my soul.
Parker gets out. Whoa.
Because, like, if we all technically stood up, people who are technically watching us on the bod, I'm technically the shortest person here. I'm even sitting like this because I know I am short. I'm roughly 5'5" and a half. And you know the struggles.
I don't know the struggles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Mr.
you all
6'2".
don't. Yeah, you're 6'2". I think you're roughly almost 6. Actually, probably
He's like 5'10".
5'10".
Like 5'7",
You're
5'8",
5'8". You're roughly 5'8",
I
right?
think.
Almost 5'10", yeah. So
I mean, if you want to go in height order, let's go shortest to tallest.
Yeah.
that's actually that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. So we finally got that. So like, look at this. Very touching. Anyhow,
I don't think they can see your feet, but
I hope not. This is an an iPhone with a 3 camera. Oh man, you're basic.
my iPhone 12.
Oh, you're putting him on the spot.
I'm just kidding.
We already talked about this in the last podcast. This is our
No, 2
basic
podcasts
ass
ago.
I got through maybe half of it. I'm not too
What do
sure.
you
what
mean?
all
Oh,
was
fuck
said.
it.
Fucking roast
we're
him.
talking about
He
the one
already
where we're going
exposed
over
himself. Roast him.
iPhones.
Oh, yeah. Let's not talk about Hunter's iPhone. Hunter, why don't you show him what you
Well,
got
the
there?
iPhone 2.
The iPhone
8.
8.
The 8.
Oh, actually, I
Yeah,
have
show the
8.
camera, why don't you?
You have an iPhone 8.
I'm with
too.
you, brother.
Yeah, see? I'm
Woo!
not the only
This
one.
is the superior because
Wait,
it is
wait.
small.
Wait, let me
I got
see.
small
Let me
hands.
You
see.
see, my camera
By the way, we
quality
can
though,
talk
is
about
why
this
we
later.
can
Look
use
at the
my
size difference.
I know, but I
Look
mean,
at that.
but at the same time, people again on the bottom. Look at my hand. Look at his hand.
That's why I
not
have
much
my phone,
difference.
because
Not much.
that's,
Well,
why,
hell, I
that's
got-
why I got a big ass phone.
I got big hands too.
Yeah.
It's not about the size that matters. It's what you can do with it.
It's the
Paid
flow
for
of
by
the
the
ocean.
National
Right,
Science
it's the
Foundation
flow
of
of the
America.
ocean.
Is that the motto you live by?
No, not
The
anymore.
2-inch gang?
What? Did you say the 2-inch?
Yeah, I said
Yeah,
the
that's,
2-inch gang.
that's Matt's game.
You already
No,
knew
I
it.
just that band long
You
ago.
already knew it. Well, has something
So,
to do with
how about
driving
the
black Chevy
Browns?
trucks.
I was gonna say now the topic we've been all waiting
We've
for.
been all
Parker.
waiting for this topic.
Yes. What do you guys actually want to discuss with first? We can
All
learn.
of it.
Okay,
Let's
I
start with week
All
one,
of it.
Okay, we
because I want to just skip over preseason and time.
versus Kansas City.
Was complete bullshit.
Well,
Okay, it depends on what you're basing the bullshit off of, respectively
Yes,
speaking.
yes,
Okay,
we're-
so if you're looking at how to beat the Kansas City Chiefs
We took
in
it out
Kansas
the right
City.
Way.
What?
We took it out the right way.
No, we did. We did. You have to play with perfection.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that is the key to the game in which you have
Especially
to play.
in
In Kansas
Kansas,
City. Which
yes.
In Baltimore, they finally proved that you don't have to play with perfection. You just have to play with a little bit of, not just luck, but you can finally have a home field advantage, etc. We can talk about that later.
Right.
But
especially with Mahomes in September.
Right. It's the dude's on another level. I mean, I haven't seen a
September.
quarterback since that. Like, I'm wearing my lucky. I wouldn't say lucky, but it's just I got this a couple weeks ago. It's Peyton Manning's
Nice.
Nice.
Sure,
Hall
yeah.
of Fame
There you go.
shirt.
Hall of Fame shirt because I wanted to go down and just get it, and it was great.
Yes, but Mahomes in September and January and February.
Good lord, I think, including our game, he went 32-0 in the touchdown interception ratio, 11-0 in games to loss ratio. It was insane.
He's
He
an
went down.
insane quarterback in September.
And finally, the game he threw an interception, the game he lost. So,
yeah, right, exactly.
yeah, going back to the Browns then on that regard, they only needed, and I can't believe this, because it normally wouldn't happen for another team. They played a perfect game, 3 mistakes.
Yes.
One of them didn't even actually matter because it was at the end of the game, and he got and Baker Mayfield threw an interception in which he was throwing. People are gonna try and say he was throwing to Harrison Bryant.
He was not. He was throwing out of bounds.
Did you see that guy in the orange? Like they basically looked like me, but just wearing orange.
Yeah.
He was throwing to me. He got tripped by freaking Daniel Sorensen, the bane of the Cleveland Browns' existence at this point.
Yes.
Can't say enough about him. I mean, I understand his play logic on that.
I understand where Baker was going with it.
If he wasn't tripped,
But
it would have been.
If he wasn't, he would have been, yeah.
It would have been out of bounds. We would have continued that drive.
Exactly. And people also could have said he could have ran it as well. There was no checkdowns. I was trying to review that play as much as possible. He had nothing. And the weirdest part, too, is that Nick Chubb wasn't on that drive. So I could probably blame a little bit of... And I don't like to play blame game when it comes to football. Football is just you have to be in the moment for anything to really happen. As
And the players always want to say
here.
it's on them. But.
Yeah, that's it. Because I'm a former experienced player. Actually, I think you were a player too for a short time. Yeah, actually, we're on the same team for
We were.
1 or 2 years.
Yeah.
One. Yeah. But so in game speed, you kind of just lock in and that's it.
Yeah. You lock in on your player and
Right,
you're like,
right.
this is where I have to be. Like I've got to be on him, and then as soon as like you get as soon as you lose eyesight or contact with that number on his jersey, all of a sudden everything goes out the window, and you're like, what am I doing?
Yep. You got to beat him.
Exactly.
Any way that you feel like you have to, you got to beat him. Unless you're technically the quarterback, which you have to beat 11 and then find your guy.
Right.
So quarterback, you actually have to beat your guy. Well, beat your guy to the way you want him to beat the other guy. So it's kind of like
Which I believe that Baker performed at that level very well that
Oh
entire
my
game.
god, he was fantastic.
He did that entire
Anyone
game.
who can say otherwise can shove it. I'm honestly saying, I'm going to say that straight up.
The mistakes happen on the O-line all the time. We have injuries. It happens.
Injuries. I think Jed rolled his ankle. He's probably still not healthy. Actually, I mean, as much as I hate to say this, we're facing Chicago. We'll get to that later.
Well, Justin Fields is starting.
He is, yes, and that's interesting. So,
It is very interesting. Over Andy Dalton, but fair enough, it is Andy Dalton.
But it is Andy Dalton.
But
you know.
back to game one.
Ryan
And it is the
himself.
But the Bears have an
Bears.
amazing defense. So let's go back to game one. Though.
Yeah,
Kansas City.
Kansas
First
City.
quarter.
No, so the first quarter. So it all goes through, all goes nicely. They gain the lead early.
Yes,
People say
that's
it was
what
a
you
first half lead. No, they got it through the third quarter. They got it through nicely because they got the touchdown. Problem was they fumbled at the wrong moment. Nick Chubb fumbles. The problem is, he never fumbles. But
I want to go through with this.
Okay,
I love running and feeding Nick Chubb.
exactly.
We did it 5 plays in a row. That was our problem. We feed it and feed it and feed it, and then on that final play, I was like, we need to throw this ball. And they handed it off to Nick Chubb. I said it before the play started because I saw them lining up for a run play, and I was like, they need to throw this ball.
I honestly
But
agree
they're going to throw this.
100%.
They're going to run it back to Nick Chubb because he just gained 9 yards on the last play.
Exactly.
And then they ran. He gained like 9 or 11 yards, something around there, and then he fumbled.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's going to happen when
If
you're
you use
running
your
the
guy too
ball
much.
as constantly as you are. And I knew at that moment we had to pass, and we had to go either over top of them or underneath them to pass.
Right. No, they were splitting A gaps with him. They weren't putting him outside. They weren't going. I'm like, you can't do that 3 out of 5 times.
Exactly.
Because someone's
someone's
gonna
gonna
be
hit that
tackled.
ball.
The problem is someone's gonna start punching, and that's when you're gonna worry.
Well, I think what happened was someone got a good head placement on the ball.
I think they did. I think it was Juan Thornhill, if I'm wrong, or he either got the recovery.
But that's what you learn is basic football. You learn head placement is the most important key thing because that's what's going to either hit the football out or you're gonna get that good drive in on him to get that tackle.
Exactly. Right. That could also be a force when he tackles him as well. That's
Right.
another type of statistic and physics that kind of goes into it, but that's a thing. So I think that's more. Don't get me wrong, Nick Chubb barely ever fumbles. So if they actually
Rarely.
pulled even one play action fake, even if it was on the fumbling play, if it was
Yeah.
just play action, Baker could have even just lost a yard on that play if he either wanted to run it or just sneak play pass, anything.
Yeah.
It would have prevented a fumble for the entire drive. You
Yeah.
got to give him some sort of break and semblance, or you could even swap him for a play, get him some hydration, get him back in. Again, that's a lot of ifs in the past.
We could have
He
even
was-
swapped him out for Hunt.
Hunt, yeah. And which is, by the way, what they did at the end of the game.
Yes.
Which makes no sense.
No.
Baker was still doing well up to that point. I mean, he even was hitting rookie receiver Anthony Schwartz.
Schwartz was
Even on big plays.
amazing.
He was basically mimicking Tyreek Hill the entire game.
Oh yeah.
And it looked like he was just as fast as Tyreek.
Exactly. Like, I was thinking right there. I think that was honestly one of the more perfect drives where you can kind of just supplement the offense. Kind of like
Yeah. Even without having Odell.
even though
Hell,
I was trying to
that-
think of a good engineering reference. It's called a manufacturing cycle.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
going in a circular.
And on that note, going to week 2, Felton, he was mimicking Nick
Natural.
Chubb very well.
Yeah, I do agree. He wasn't in the backfield as much though, but
yeah.
he was honestly
He was a
the
great
best
slot receiver.
slot receiver. He's one of the best catch runners I've seen in a while.
Oh
Yeah. If you sub him in as a
As a
slot
rookie, I
receiver.
want to clarify that.
Right. If you sub him in as a slot receiver rather than being in the backfield, he was amazing.
No, I agree. I watched some of his stuff at UCLA just because I normally do that during draft
I
time.
kind of want to say he looked like McCaffrey.
I'm not gonna go that far. But however, he did make some plays that I haven't seen McCaffrey make before. That 25, or maybe it was like
It was a
45
33
It
yard.
was 33 yards. I'm gonna be completely frank with you. I have not seen a singular football player, at least this season, maybe even last season, have more of a dynamic run after the catch
Oh,
like
it was
that in a
amazing.
while. He broke, I think, on record, 3 tackles.
Yeah.
The first one after being 5 yards off of a spin move, which normally is a death sentence for if you're a run for carry kind of
Yup.
guy. And I'm thinking, oh my god, please don't fumble. If you fumble, I swear. Anywho,
Let's talk about our fourth quarter against KC.
fourth quarter. Okay.
So
Talk about dropping the ball.
I was gonna say let's
Nah.
talk about the Irish Hammer, or not the Irish,
Okay.
the Scottish Hammer.
Scottish Hammer.
What?
Oi, okay, about to
That
say
was a
it.
perfect right in his hands, and he just
Dropped
dropped the bag.
Yeah. That was, I'm sorry, again, deviate. There's so much stuff to talk about the Cleveland Browns. 2 weeks, by the way.
So when that happened, I was like, "Is this a run play?"
Yeah, but
Because
I'm
I was
not
like,
stupid enough
"Are
to do it.
we faking fourth down? Are we doing a fake punt?" I didn't realize he dropped the ball because I thought he caught it and then was like, "I'm not kicking it." It was running. I didn't realize he caught the ball until I saw the replay, and I was like, "Oh, he dropped the
I
ball."
would have thought he would have ran a little faster.
Well,
For a Scotsman, yes.
what happened was he dropped the ball, then he picked it up and it like fumbled out of his hands again. Then he picked it up and was just screwed at that.
Yeah.
So if he had a better catch on it,
It would have worked out.
yeah. But then that's what propelled them. I mean,
No,
honestly, that
exactly.
gave them so much.
It basically gave you a free touchdown. When I say that, it's they didn't even have to return it. I said when they were down, touchdown.
Yeah.
Prepare for the next time you're going to be trailing.
Yeah.
I literally said that right when he fumbled. I'm like, yeah, you're trailing. But you're now trailing.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what happens right now. You're going to be trailing here within the next.
It all started
Whenever
with
they want.
It went fumble, then the punter, and then sadly Baker's interception.
Yeah.
But that
Although
was
that
a
one again
mistake.
doesn't matter.
Right.
It's more in the
There was-
mistake category of him trying to not make the play.
I rather than calling it an
Much
interception, I rather call it an error on the offense in general.
Yeah, that was an error
Like,
on
if
the
it-
offense.
like-
that was a schematic play that should have not been.
Things
In my
just
humble
went
opinion.
wrong, and the defense really pushed, and that's
Yeah,
what
they did.
happens, you know.
And credit to KC too. I'm not going to try and bear that.
Right,
They're the
I
best
mean-
team in the NFL for a reason. So
Right, exactly.
Just want to be objective in that statement. Now it's
Second best.
yeah.
I don't know, Tampa Bay.
Oi, them swashbucklers.
Well, the only reason-
the Ravens like last week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was
the only reason I
36 I was
said,
gonna say, wasn't it just by 1 point too?
Mm-hmm.
you know what's crazy to think is the whole AFC North is all 1-1.
Mm-hmm. But if we're basing off a point differential, Cleveland technically has first in the AFC
Yes,
North
it does.
because we won our game by 10. Lost our other game by 5. That puts us in +5.
Right.
Pittsburgh, even though they're 1-1, they have a negative point differential because we got slapped up with the Oakland
By the
Raiders.
Raiders.
I didn't see that
The
one coming. If I bet money
No,
on
I
that game, by the
completely
way,
saw it coming because of the fact of the Raiders beating the Ravens, and was like, Derek Carr is gonna go off
I have him in fantasy. Okay, so my
because of
we'll
their
get into that
tight
later,
end.
too.
I only knew because of their tight end.
Darren Waller.
Darren Waller has been a beast this year.
Oh, dude, yeah. Last year too. He
I
was
told him to pick him
unreal.
up on his fantasy draft.
Don't give him hints. Win. He was probably gone in my league. Pick 15 at worst.
Right, he goes quick.
He will go quick. The problem is though
Because he's
it's-
like a top 3. It's like if you
I
either
would say
get
top.
Travis Kelce, George Kittle, or Darren Waller.
I'd say Darren Waller over Kittle because I don't know who the hell the quarterback is for San Francisco.
San Francisco is, I believe, it's still Garoppolo.
It's still. I mean, it isn't like how are they gonna play? Sorry, I know who they are. It's just like
Well, yeah,
there are
you know,
running
49ers
team.
are always.
The 49ers are always in the mix. The problem is
Yeah.
just Jimmy off of like so
Jimmy
many
G.
injuries. They have a rookie who hasn't played football, by the way, like a full game, not counting the preseason, since 2019.
Right.
Something off. I'm like, no way.
Yeah.
They just picked that guy up at third, so I'm like, oh, whatever. So no, Jamie Gillen. By the way, if Jamie Gillen, and this will probably be the last time that we have on the Chiefs. If he drops one more punt this year, it's over for him.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like, against any opponent, don't care. Like, even if against, like, this week. If it happens this week, if he drops a punt, his career's over. I'm sorry. Nothing against him. I even like him. I'm part Scottish as well. My last name is literally McMillan.
Right.
Don't disrespect our Scotsman like that, alright, man? Please. I actually like you as a player. He actually has
I
a good
feel
leg,
like he
too.
should have been our kicker. But
He actually had a decent shot at be our kicker, too. Now we have Chase McLaughlin, which is also another Mick.
yeah, but I feel like he would. I just feel like he'd be a better kicker because he's got the power more in his leg. Like he can have those 60 plus
I mean-
yarders.
No, yeah, and I totally get that. I mean, there's...
But the problem is working on his accuracy from that long.
Right.
I mean, we put him in one time, like I think it was last year or something, for a 70-yarder just because.
Yeah.
It was like we had like a second on the clock and we were 70 yards away and we were like, screw
Might
it.
as well.
We would win by a point if you make it.
Yeah, or just I think it was actually going into half because they had nothing else better to do.
Oh, okay. But
No, I
right,
guess it was against the Steelers. No, it wasn't against the Steelers. It was against like a...
It was-
one of- excuse me, one of those AFC teams.
it was either, I think it was the Ravens. Our first game against the Ravens.
That was the Baker Mayfield throw. No, first game against the Ravens. That was actually the other time. No, that was actually a design play. that they
Okay,
ran.
all right, never mind.
It was one of those games though. It was
Yeah.
one of them.
But yeah, like I feel like he would be a good kicker if he can work on his accuracy. But punter wise, still he has, I believe, the strongest leg in the league. Like
Yeah,
he
he's one
can
of them.
kick it the farthest in the league.
Tim and Brian Anker, I want to say, from the Cowboys.
Yeah,
At least he does this very deadly or accurate. I don't know if he has the strongest leg, but he's very accurate. But yeah.
he is very accurate to get in the 5.
Yeah. Oh no, he can.
But besides that, let's talk about game 2.
Yeah, game 2.
Let's talk about how we improved with the fact of Landry going out in the first quarter.
Okay, yeah. So that.
So we from what we did from game 1 is what we worked on for game 2. You know, we were trying a few different things. We started doing a lot more passing.
Right.
I could tell that we were passing a lot more.
Yeah, a lot
against-
more play action pass too. That
Yeah,
was very
rather-
evident
we
they
were
were
not running the
back.
rock as much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was at work and he was sending me updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was about to say because at that point, by the way, I strategically take off work on Sundays.
yeah,
for
I'm trying to teach him. He just doesn't understand.
I know, man. Come on, don't work Sundays.
Like, hold on. You look at the Brown schedule and then you go,
God's
all right, I need
Sabbath.
this day off. Oh, Thursday,
Right.
I gotta take a Thursday off. I mean, you gotta look at the schedule.
That's what I should
Thankfully,
do.
I can just take
like,
off work
next
on
year.
Thursdays if I have to. Just say like, can I have a Thursday? And like a month later, they'll say fine. I'm like, yes.
Right.
Thankfully, it only happens once this time this year for me.
Just
Although I have to do that.
But like
next
Monday
week.
Monday Night Football, I don't think we.
No, we have
we don't-
one
we have
game
one,
literally
right?
at the end of the year for that. I'm like, why?
Right.
Why? Unless that's going to be Big Ben's final game in Pittsburgh, there is no other reason to be showing that game against the Cleveland Browns. Just
Right.
saying. Also, if that's also the case, why aren't we on another good, meaningful Monday night game?
Right.
That was just something I also figured out. Like, I think they have maybe one more slot open, possibly for Cleveland to have a Saturday night, like somewhat before Christmas game against the Oakland Raiders. But it has to be flexed in.
Yeah.
So assuming the Oakland Raiders are going to be good, they're going to flex that game in. It's
Right.
going to be in Cleveland. That's why. So
You know,
that'll be like our fourth. I think now they're fourth.
we only have like
yeah.
4 primetime games.
Yeah, 4 prime time game. Yeah. So
But
it's just
what I think is crazy is they slot a game against the Lions and the Washington football team. I almost said Redskins.
Same week.
And this past Monday, I was like, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Nice.
primetime game?
Yeah.
That was
Jared Goff.
I was like, I don't want to watch this.
Right?
Yeah, but
I turned it off.
Yeah, but I say we have kneecap biter
What
and
is
Jared
that
Goff.
shit?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, great Aaron Rodgers.
I was like, all right, I've
Seen
got
it going
Antonio
in.
Gibson on my fantasy, but I don't even want to watch this because it's not going to be entertaining for me.
Right.
I saw this meme. And
so I
I
was literally
falls
doing
in.
homework in that time.
I saw this meme and it was like Aaron Rodgers looks like Nick Cage playing Aaron Rodgers in a movie about Tom Brady.
Yeah, but I saw that too. I'm like,
Yeah, I seen that.
when I was watching, like I watched snippets of the game. I'm like, what is he doing with his hair? I know he's trying to be California cool now. Actually, he always technically has, but he just cut his hair because he's
Everyone
in the
take a
Midwest.
bite of Matt.
Yeah.
Man just gets up in
Yeah.
the middle of a podcast.
Oh, we've done it before.
No, we're recording.
I had to get something to drink. It's a podcast.
So, game 2, I think we lost Landry. That was
This ain't
that was
no
hard.
Aiden.
So fun, yeah.
But what I love to see was our rookie step up.
Yes.
And then they didn't really do much with Donovan Peoples-Jones, and I expected more out of him this year so far.
I did too. Problem is that they're just running everything else first. I think they're trying to integrate him. Now, not to say that I'm kind of disappointed, but with due fairness to Donovan, I think he is 2 out of 3 for his targets. So, I mean, when he's getting looked at, he's catching it.
Yeah.
That's the good thing.
What I saw a lot was
So,
them
also the
focusing
same
on...
with Higgins too. Sorry.
They were focusing a lot on Njoku and Hooper.
Hooper, yeah. And I
And then
honestly think that's how they...
Hurts is our other tight end. Who is it?
It's Njoku, Hooper, and Harrison. Bryant.
Harrison. Yeah.
Yeah,
Brian.
they were going all 3 there. And actually, that's kind of the smart game plan, too. Because what the Texans were doing, and what I was trying to at least cover, they were in, I think, a basic 4-3 with
Yeah.
a power safety up top.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to stack the box, either bringing in nickel corner or just the safety, and then just letting everything else kind of just dwindle out. So
Right.
if Baker Mayfield wasn't going to be sacked by bringing at least either an occasional 5th-man pressure,
Right.
they were going to have at least maybe on average 1 open receiver. That's
Right,
why
right.
Baker Mayfield was so deadly accurate, even after the Landry injury.
Mhm.
So I'm shocked they didn't really kind of slightly change how their defense would go after his injury, because he does play a big part in this Browns
Right.
team.
Oh yeah.
So do you...
Regardless, he's a wide receiver or not. I have my opinions about wide receivers in that kind of role, but with due fairness, he's the one vocal leader who actually does good.
Right.
But
You know what I loved to see, though, was after we had our scare with Baker,
oh god, yeah, just
he was perfect.
I
throughout-
think it was
I think he had missed one.
no, I think he actually did go 10 for 10. I don't think he missed an incompletion the entire game. I have to look it up. I want
He
to
missed-
believe the final stat I saw from him: 10 for 10, 91 yards, 2 total touchdowns. It
That was
something
after his.
ridiculous.
That was after his.
After his thing.
Yeah. And then I listened to his mic'd up, and he's like, "See, I thought I threw that guy down with one hand."
Shove it down. Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. I'm like,
It was so funny.
you did that with an injured arm.
Yeah.
We're still in it this year.
Well,
say
he
that about
left
defense,
the
we're
injured
offense,
arm
baby.
down. He left his left arm down. He takes his right arm and he goes, the guy goes,
The poor Houston Texans player gonna just.
I was like, yeah, that
It was like
sucks.
Ralph rolling down the hill. I'm like, oh, that poor.
It was so funny though. And then he goes up to his line. He goes, "You see that? Threw him down with one hand. I stuffed him with one hand."
Right.
I was like, damn it, Baker.
Him. Yeah. The O line.
No, better ones. Yeah.
The O line. Yeah,
Still
it's
up.
cool.
And then he comes out of the locker room or whatever, and on his mic up you can hear, it was, "Yeah, I just popped in and out." He goes, "It's alright, I don't need my left arm anyways."
Just imagine him sit back in the pocket. Throw!
I definitely feel like he would be able to do it.
Like he twerks this way when he throws. Just, well, I can't. I need to like stand up for the people. Like that. It's just the back of his.
Someone's trying to sack him. Just
He gets bitch slapped.
Sorry,
yeah.
those users.
Got him with my bad hand.
goes up to
Out of the ground. Oh my god! I just broke your couch.
Hey, that couch was
I've
heavy
lost like
out
somewhat
anyways.
30-ish pounds, and I'm still breaking stuff. So
Happens to the best of us.
I am.
He goes up to the huddle.
So it does
You guys see that? I smacked him.
Oh, I
yeah,
fucking love
Baker.
Baker.
Good job.
I love
His
Baker.
finger shows up like this. Oh yeah, I smacked him.
How about our defense? Honestly,
back end.
would love to see it. Our secondary has been proven.
Oh yeah, because I haven't seen it this year.
What?
The defense.
You don't pay.
Second game was actually probably the worst part about it. The only bright spot for me, outside of just the rookies playing good in general, was Grant Delpit, and no one else kind of just showed up on defense. It was very odd. It's like, I still think carrying over from last year, we have the worst third down percentage in the league. That's got to change for a
we still
playoff
do.
team.
We
That's
still do.
bad. You do not want to be in that category.
I love that we picked up John Johnson though.
I do. No. Him and Anthony Walker are acquisition for linebacker this offseason from the Indianapolis Colts, for those who don't know.
Miles Garrett has half a sack this year so far.
Yeah, half, because he shared it with Clowney in the one
Right.
game.
I'm like, you're kidding?
There's something, yeah.
Come on, you gotta-
Delpit
you gotta-
technically had more tackles for loss in one game against Houston Texans than our entire
Line.
defensive line,
Yep.
and that's a problem, including linebackers.
Yes.
Now, Malcolm Smith did make a play on the ball for the rookie quarterback. It's fine. You know, it happens. Good
But
for
we're
him.
supposed to have the most threatening defensive line in the league.
No, we don't.
No, but I'm just saying,
it's
like,
supposed to be better
With the way
than what
that it
was
looks with
supposed to.
Clowney and
Yeah.
Miles Garrett coming off the
Clowney
edges,
and Garrett.
it should be
Two
one of the
dynamic,
most.
fast guys who can
It should be one of the
close.
most freaking threatening
Right.
defensive lines in the league, but it is not.
Like, the one sample play that you had with Patrick Mahomes in the first game, they both got their assignments correct.
Yeah.
They closed the pocket.
Yeah.
They closed it within, I want to say, 7 yards, and then
Right.
let the defense and the two linebackers, well, actually, maybe it depends if you have two linebackers or a corner or just the one linebacker in general. Depends on how you want to play your defense, depending on the week. But in general, you want to at least have three, like a 5-guy set, your 3 offensive linemen, your 2 defensive tackles, a linebacker. So, I mean, the quarterback's kind of like pressured in there.
Yeah.
They did their job on that part. Clowney
Yeah.
actually probably had a better overall season. And I grant, again, week 2, there's still a lot of football left to play.
A lot, yeah.
But Clowney has at least looked more impressive because of his versatility getting to the backfield. Miles Garrett is a little bit of a question mark for me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if people are just straight up figuring him out, which is kind of hard for me to believe, considering he is just all power. And
Oh, he
it's
is.
just, I mean, Aaron Donald, he doesn't have many moves. Like, he has moves. He has, like, maybe 3 to 4. Miles Garrett has 2 to 3. But when you have so much power like both of them do, it doesn't matter anymore.
No, it doesn't. And
They get
what I
through.
love is when Miles Garrett would practice grappling with Stipe.
Yeah, Steve Miocic.
Yeah, he would practice grappling with him, and Stipe would come out and be like, "That man is a beast and
Right.
so strong."
Yeah, then you have, like, Aaron Donald over here with his father holding knives, like, oh, don't get cut. I'm like, wow.
What?
Oh, and did I ever... Oh, man, you have to look it up later. I think it was either his father or his trainer. Now, thankfully, they ended up finding out it was fake knives, but they legit looked like... I mean, it was like...
That's
very
crazy.
footage. Yeah, no, it legit looked like...
They have fast
Regular-
hands though too.
Oh, yeah, no, he was, like,
They are
playing
really fast
Jenga,
hands.
but if Jenga was Operation.
What?
Right?
But what I thought was weird to see in the game was Houston making some weird decisions. What the coach didn't want to, like, there was the one play, like, the first or second quarter. He just, like, they had the option to, like, decline or accept a penalty or something, and that would get him that would give them their third down back, and he declined, and then they punt. I was like,
What?
you didn't want another option? Like, you're like
About
10
to-
yards away from being in field goal
Range.
range. Why aren't you trying to go for, it's
Was
like
it,
3rd and 12.
4th and 2. Yeah, it was like 3rd and 12, and they got the penalty, but it was still like 4th and 2. I'm like, dude, just go for 4th and 2. We can't stop it. Like a nosebleed.
Right.
Even worse, we just can't stop bleeding.
And then,
We have hemophilia on our defense. We caught the King's disease.
right. And then what was
Royal's blood
crazy
disease? I don't know what it's called.
was, and then they all of a sudden just switch out the quarterback. There was nothing wrong. Like, like
Tyrod?
Tyrod Taylor was like,
Oh, yeah, no, he had
He-
the
he,
hamstring
like,
issue.
did
He's out
some-
actually this week. They're playing right now, Texans are, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, we forget because it's Thursday. Right. They're playing right now in Houston.
Right.
If by the way, if the other team isn't
I hope
winning,
my-
shame on them, and I'm dumping everyone. From
I hope
fantasy
my
except for
fantasy team's lined up is correct because I was supposed to fix my.
Yeah, let's have Robbie Anderson on tonight.
Who are they playing?
Panthers at Texans.
I hope I put in DJ Moore.
He's actually been a good receiver for Carolina this year, shockingly enough.
Yeah, he's just been like in the past few years. He's just been like a
He's just
blow up.
Yeah, blown up.
When Christian McCaffrey got injured, that's when he really
Kind of just started. stepping
he
up.
started really becoming like a good wide receiver,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
he got some really good talent, and then now it's taken away from Christian McCaffrey a little bit,
Right,
more
right.
towards him, and they're not relying just on Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, no.
You
I
know,
really
but
agree.
that's really good for the Panthers.
And, oh, sorry, were you gonna say something?
And then with having Sam Darnold now
Yeah, okay.
as their quarterback, they have now this more versatile. Yeah, you get rid of Cam Newton, but Cam Newton was kind of getting old, you know.
Yeah, I was like, yeah,
And
I was going to say.
Sam Darnold is kind of like a young Cam Newton all over again.
I wouldn't say that.
But I wouldn't say he's got as much maneuverability.
No, he has zero to none. He's good. He's a fantastic pocket passer, which is what
He
Carolina
is.
has needed ever since the Super Bowl. They lost
Yeah,
because I think
because Cam got stuck in the pocket
Oh,
in
no,
the
he
Super
did.
Bowl,
And
and
he just
he
couldn't
couldn't do
do it.
anything
Yeah.
because he's not a pocket passer.
No, I mean like shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, it was him in his old years, couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Teddy Bridgewater, and then whenever he got injured, someone else put in. They finally got their guy now. So which wide receiver's gonna work?
Could have used the bathroom.
Go for it, yeah.
Keep
all
going.
right. Well, I don't know. I think we've been going for about
No, keep going.
40 to 50
Talk
minutes.
about what you expect for Sunday.
Yeah, because we can.
All right, so. Oh, I hope I put in DJ Moore right.
Right.
But back to Tyrod Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyrod Taylor, it didn't look like he ever like really injured himself. But what I think was when Myles Garrett put so much pressure on him when he was running for that touchdown, was then he like kind of like moved his leg weird when he like was jumping over the goal
Right.
line, and then I think that's what really tweaked him. And then the next time,
Yeah,
it was
the
right
next
before the
play
half
or
broke
whatever.
and he like ran out of bounds again, getting chased down, and it was
Yeah.
just like he did something weird again. I think he
Strangled his
just
left leg.
yeah, and then I think no one ever said anything throughout the whole game like why Tyrod didn't go out.
Right.
They just switched out quarterbacks, and then they never said anything about Tyrod. I was like, so is he
What's
like
going
just
on?
not wanting to play, or like is he injured?
Yeah,
and
that
then
was
after the
nothing,
game, they
right.
come out with he's got a hamstring.
I'm like, yeah, I didn't even see that when that was happening.
Right.
I know he had like some sort of issue with that.
But it just looked like he was running weird.
Yeah.
But
Like,
they
he may
never
have, like,
said
rolled his
like
ankle
they
or
never announced that. Oh, like
He's injured. Yeah.
I thought maybe
Right.
he just like rolled his ankle on a play and was just gonna continue playing
Right.
because like most of the time you can just walk that off and continue, you know, unless you really like sprained your ankle.
Right. No. Yeah. But I say I looked like at first either in like it was either like a hip or an ankle or something like that.
Yeah.
He just looked weird walking. Normally you just wouldn't walk, or players don't opt to walk anymore.
But then he was on the bike too right after that
Yeah.
right after that touchdown. So I was like, because they showed that like that he was on the bike, but again never said anything about it.
Nothing
They just
right.
had a trainer with him on the bike. And
Oh yeah.
so it was just very weird to see that. And then they were just making a lot of weird decisions. I don't know, like, if it was more like the head coach making those decisions or other people that are upstairs making those decisions, you know? Because I feel like some of the things were taken out of the head coach's hands when he had to run onto the field a few times and, like,
Yeah, I had to break some things up, and it was so
So.
I couldn't wrap my head around that game. At the end of the day, it was a Cleveland Browns win, but there was so much.
that is amazing to have, yeah, because it really pumps us up.
It really does. I mean,
Yeah.
you have the schedule coming up, and we can like lightly touch on it. Just
But
like,
there's
for-
a lot of things I feel like we have to work on before we play the Bears on Sunday.
yeah, I know. So
I mean,
let's see this week. Justin
I don't
Fields.
think I still don't think OBJ's coming back.
He actually took full reps in practice today.
He did?
Mm-hmm. He took full reps
Okay, I didn't see that.
at full speed.
All right,
And
so
he did
was
it
he
at
taking
work.
contact too?
I believe he was. It just depends on how they run practice.
Because
I
he
have no idea
was
what it is.
because he like in the past weeks he's been doing like not full reps but like half reps I believe.
Yeah, right. Like he's been doing
but with
routes
no
and stuff.
contact
Yeah.
because he was afraid of his knee.
Yeah.
But I think now with Landry coming out
They
and
kind of have
probably
to
being
show
an
him
injury,
to-
he's probably gonna be like, all right, I'll take that number one slot receiver spot and be
Yeah.
the veteran that I have to be
Yeah.
for these younger, not as talented wide receivers to try and teach them some things and show them and be that person on the field for them.
No, yeah, I agree.
Talking
This will
about
be-
Odell.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're getting
yeah.
into it now. We're branching into the Chicago game.
I
Just
don't, but I just
stuff.
feel like Odell is like one of those key players that need to be on the field when we don't have another key
Exactly.
player like Landry.
Yeah.
Because we have so many key players in the backfield, but I don't feel like they can relate as much to our wide receivers to help them out.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we had like one call last week that was on like our wide receivers being off.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
and it was just like really.
Right.
Come on
It
now.
was mostly first and second year guys. So I'm like, oh, come on.
Right.
I understand. It's the
That's
NFL.
a 5-yard penalty that was not
It's
needed.
just not needed, yeah. You have to back way more, and you have to rely more on your running backs, and that's just
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, this will also be interesting too because I know this is going to be his OBJ's first game without Landry since 2018, which is a weird stat to believe, but it really is because I was looking through all the games and Jarvis Landry was in every game from 2019 and 2020.
He was in every game all the way until from
Until
when
he
he
got
came
injured,
to all
yeah.
the way until he got injured.
Yeah,
And,
which is kind of shocking.
OBJ's been out twice.
Yeah, so I mean, it'll come down to a lot of. Well, I don't know if it's going to be more of a quarterback argument or a wide receiver will step up argument for that kind of term because all that chatter started right when is it now working between the two.
Right.
I think since Baker Mayfield's gotten more hold of the team since the playoff win,
Right.
I think that does speak value to locker rooms and to your own team without the coach, by the way, too. They were running with the rookie. I mean, it was basically him in Pittsburgh, whipped their ass out, out of Pittsburgh.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. Kevin Stefanski.
I mean, he drew up.
What do you mean? Kevin
Stefanski.
He did a lot
game
for
planned.
it.
No. He game planned the entire thing, but he wasn't there. But due fairness to Baker Mayfield,
Yeah, he was not there. Yeah.
And that does
Didn't
play
he
a
have
factor
COVID?
too.
Yeah, he had
Yeah,
COVID, and he
COVID,
was not able to
yeah.
be at the game.
I still wonder if he had a special mic, even though he wasn't allowed.
Right. He had his phone off.
Right. Probably like
Siri, turn off my phone.
texting the other coach that was in for him. Pull
Mike
this
Critchford.
move.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Was he not allowed to?
He
Yeah,
wasn't
no phone,
allowed.
no
Yeah. So
communication at all.
during the game start to end, no communication with the team, which I'm like, that's some bullshit. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
That
That's
makes
our
no
head
sense.
coach.
Like you can literally offensive coordinators literally sit in a press box.
Right, exactly.
And defensive coordinators with a microphone. Literally same thing. You can just have a field view that is through live monitor.
Right, exactly.
Not hard.
It could have
It's
just been
different.
could have been in a Zoom call.
Exactly. If anything, just do a from the like a top view camera down because I was at Byers Field in Parma, Ohio.
Yeah.
It was like the second or third largest stadium in Ohio. Just like one camera at the top looking down. Message to Prefer.
When he says second or third largest stadium, he means second or third high school largest stadium.
No, actually, it is one of the largest stadiums in Ohio in terms of seating capacity because it's all bleacher.
Well, I mean, clearly it'd go like Browns, Cincy, OSU.
No, actually, I have to look it up. No, it's OSU.
Well, yeah, OSU has more.
Yeah, it's no, without a doubt. It's, OSU was number 1. Cleveland Brown Stadium's number 2. Cincinnati's Paul Brown Stadium's number 3.
The Bengals, right?
I'm surprised.
4, I believe, is actually the Canton's Tom Benton Stadium, or Fawcett. I've always called it Fawcett.
Yeah.
I think it's actually the 5th or 6th largest stadium in Ohio, just because it's all bleacher. It goes up 27
I'm surprised,
rows,
like, Akron
and then they
isn't
have
bigger.
like 17. Yeah, but I was saying, because Akron, I remember they had a really good one. The problem is though, again, it's all local, and they have to pay for it themselves, and it just isn't the biggest market. At least for Parma, they have 3 cities to rely on, and they can also subjugate from the Ohio government and Cleveland if they wanted to. And they also have funding.
It was such a big
And
stadium.
yeah, I know, it was the craziest thing. I looked it up, but I'm like, oh my god, really? No way. It makes sense how the Ohio got tired of like going up and down like this large camera, like television style, like from the 70s. Like if you ever like saw them before, you had to like mount them to yourself and just zoom in. I can't. Why? Because I'd have to move.
How about that? What is it? Sycamore Bishop or whatever?
Bishop Sycamore.
Bishop Sycamore against Ignatius.
That wasn't Ignatius. I don't think it was like a Florida team. But oh my god, that was the most funniest thing I ever watched in my life.
I thought they played St. Ignatius.
So boys, let's join Bishop Sycamore.
Yes, I'm joining Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I am joining Bishop Sycamore football program. I'm going back to high school.
I'm gonna take my talents to Bishop Sycamore.
Yep. Cam Newton was released. That was the funniest meme I've ever watched in my life. I'm like, yes. They got the Photoshop on him and everything. Like, oh, dude looks slick for a fake football team.
I swear to God, it was St. Ignatius on ESPN with.
I knew it honestly could have been. Like,
That's why I thought it was.
oh, and they
It was
also
like
received funding
58
from
to 6.
Ignatius too, by the way, because Ignatius was the stadium. Anyway, that's the end of my argument with that. But crazy.
How about we step back into professional and
I like how we divulged. Oh my God, you're right. Nosedived in terms of talent and everything. No, so
Fine,
let's
fine.
not even start talking about Normandy.
Fine.
Oh
If
God,
we're talking
we're-
about shitty football teams, let's just talk about the Panthers. At
You
this
know,
point.
I talked to someone I talked to someone at the school, and they said, "Yeah, the team's actually doing a lot better this year. They won one game."
They won one game, yes. And we won Constantine. Well, I mean, compared to the last
what
two.
Normandy?
I was like, "We won one game, and you're saying that we're good because we won against like a team that's in D6.
What Normandy?
We're not a good team."
Yeah, Normandy somehow won a game this year. I don't know.
Have you seen
Normandy
our?
sucks.
They're so small.
I know.
Our quarterback's like a twig,
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I swear they
It's
got
so
like
out.
over the years.
In the past 10, 15
and he's
years.
short.
Oh,
so
no.
short.
Right.
Five and a half short?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
good.
not like short.
Definitely
That like
short.
kind of like if Baker. It's kind of like how Baker is behind our line, barely can kind of see over it, but can see over it. Minus like 2 inches. Like that. Like the kid's so short. It was kind of like how our senior
Hyperextension.
year we had a really our quarterback was like 5'8".
Yeah, we had like our basically.
and like we had like
semi-running
3
quarterback.
linemen that are like 6'3", 6'4",
Oh, bro, yeah.
and that are 250. Like
I'm shocked none of the three that were like basically the sizes of New York skyscrapers even getting a call to like a D2 college. It was the weirdest thing on earth.
I
Because
thought-
like they don't look for too much skill because you can actually develop that more in college than you can in high school. I'm just shocked I didn't get as many calls as they did.
well,
Off-brand.
I think Austin did. He got
Really?
a D1 like call, but then he got in like a fight when the scout came to the game.
Oh my god, yo.
Because of another player like hitting him, and then he tried to like brush it off, and then the player went back at him, and then Austin just went off because he couldn't. You're in the you're in the heat of the moment,
Yeah, in the moment. I
you
get
know. And
That
then I
sucks,
think
though.
he lost his D1 like offer
Like offer, yeah, because of it.
because I don't think it was gonna be a scholarship, but it was just like an
No,
offer.
but it was like an offer to play, yeah, like
right
that you could take
and
it
then,
mostly.
and he was the only one on the entire team.
Yeah.
So
I was like, because there were some good guys on that line, and we just did nothing at
I swear to God,
the team, also the coach wasn't.
Our quarterback, I seen him. I kid you not, once he was literally like. Just
Oh,
lobbed
by
it.
accident. Yeah, because he threw his hand up like this. I don't think
It almost looked like he was just.
yeah, we needed a better like quarterbacks coach.
Actually, if I could probably coach that team, I probably could. I love offensive scheme.
I would
probably
I would
could.
love to be a quarterbacks coach.
I'd love to be an offensive
I love so
coordinator
much
or
about
game coordinator.
footwork. I love footwork. I love everything about like your hips moving and
Torque, everything.
everything about it because it is so like it's not just about like holding the ball and moving your arm and throwing. There's a lot more physics
Oh,
and
God, yeah.
so much stuff that goes into it that people don't really think about. And,
Oh yeah, no, it's
and
like
then like doing the specific workouts with the quarterbacks and stuff to make that power come out of you and learn how to use it. We need a coach that specifically takes the quarterbacks for practice and just works with them and works with them and works with them.
right.
And then everyone needs to just split up defense, offense, wide receivers, running backs, quarterbacks, D ends. We just don't have the coaching staff to
Yeah,
do
right.
it.
No,
You know, it'd be nice if we did, but it's hard.
No, it really is. Just the funding's not there.
What doesn't
or the
help
time.
is half of the players. I swear to God, they get shorter and shorter.
Oh,
as
yeah,
the years
I know.
go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can work with that still.
But you
And
can,
then-
no, that's true.
You can
It's high
convert
school
them into a
plays.
running quarterback.
And then
Dude, we had literally a guy who was actually shorter than me. He actually played very well. It was shocking. Like
And
how
then the
good he
shorter they get, the more drug use they start to do. Because I noticed it a lot with our football players.
It's so
It might be
bad
just a
lately.
Normandy thing.
It is so bad lately.
Oh yeah.
At Normandy or just in general?
Just
general.
in general for
Oh,
high
yeah.
school teams.
Oh yeah, no, I got it.
Well, no one wants to. Seems to play, so they take the.
Well, everyone that plays wants to just be like, yeah, I play football and like walk through the high school like with their jersey on. And then as soon as we like,
It's not as
Don't-
prestigious as it
doing
used
good
to
and
be.
stuff,
Oh,
then
unless
they
like
just-
your guess is like a big program.
it's not like a big thing
anymore.
to be like a part of the football team, and they just want to be like, yeah, I'm part of the football team. But do you do anything for the football team? Do you show up to the practices? Are you actually trying? Like, do you actually care about the sport?
No.
Like, when I go to my army, like when I talk to like some of the people that actually like played football in college and stuff, they have so much more like that they put in with their team. They were all like
Exactly.
together. They all wanted to win. Like I talked to the one guy that won states,
Yes,
and like
angst.
they all want to be together. They don't care about what the school thinks about them. They want to know.
Yeah.
They want the team to succeed.
The brotherhood.
You know,
The whole
exactly.
brotherhood.
Well, it's
And-
because its
and our
standards
team
are higher too.
It's just they don't care.
It's just there. Yeah.
I think they were a D2 school and they won state. And
Nice.
their senior year and stuff. But they also were all together all the way from like 6th grade, all the way. You know, like
Yeah.
when you're working with each other for that long, and then
you're gonna have,
Yeah.
just
you're
natural
gonna have
chemistry,
that
yeah.
great
Chemistry.
chemistry. Even 4 years is all it takes.
Mhm.
I mean, the 4 years of high school, if you have a freshman class that comes in and they stay together and they put their heads in and they really try,
Mhm.
you're gonna have a successful team no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just them wanting to try, you know, and actually want that brotherhood and that succeeding team.
Mhm.
But people are always like, well, I hope the football team's good this year. Well, it takes more than just
Hope.
like
Prayer.
hope and
Yeah.
prayer. It
Right.
takes the grit and the grind, and
They don't
good
fuck
coaching.
around irons or nothing.
good
Yeah.
coaching
Good
also
coaching.
does it.
Right.
Because if
It's
the
for
coaches have that good like mentality of being like, hey, like if you guys really want it, like you gotta work for it. You know, it doesn't just come by playing on the field.
Right.
You gotta put in the work before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't take 3 months of preseason. It takes a whole year.
Mhm.
You know, but people don't understand that. I mean, look at professional teams that how long they're still like training on their own
Right.
without being
Mhm.
in preseason.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get that, and it helps.
And then it starts in spring training, not summer.
Right.
OTA. That's when it starts. Just when-
Right.
Oh boy.
Yeah, before it used to be the football team. Now it's like, football team. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But enough with my rant about
Teamwork.
about high school football and how it's supposed to work.
I got that.
We didn't really touch much on this next game that we have coming up on
Yeah.
Sunday. So let's see. We've got Justin Fields coming in
Yeah.
over Andy Dalton.
Yep.
I think he finally earned his position.
I don't think he earned it. He got injured. Lives up. He's gonna start again. Matt Nagy. Well, no, Ryan Pace is an idiot.
I
I'm
feel
sorry.
like Justin Fields can earn his
but he
position
can.
this way.
Yes, he can.
I mean, I loved him when he was at OSU.
I did too.
I mean, absolute amazing.
He was a Georgia dude. He worked. That's
Yeah,
cool.
he worked. He put in the work, and you can see it when it came out on the field. Every time that he was on the field, you can tell there was a difference.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Problem is, I don't think it's gonna translate well on Sunday.
it's hard to translate well.
He didn't do that good against the Bengals.
He didn't do that good his first
7 of
game
13, yeah,
or his
first game.
second game.
Yeah.
I think he had
I think he went like 7 of 13.
with like 90 or
160 yards. No, yeah, you're right. 91 yards and
Yeah.
interception. It was not. And he run to his credit, rushing touchdown. But that's
But
against
he is
the
a mobile
Bengals
quarterback.
defense. I wouldn't say mobile. He's actually more of a good passer than people give him credit for. But he
I
was
believe
more
he's a
mobile.
good out of the pocket.
He's
quarterback.
yes, you're right. You're right.
That's what I mean when
Yeah.
mobile.
Yeah.
When I say mobile, I don't mean
Yeah,
Lamar
mobile.
Jackson.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Lamar Jackson was a running
He's a
back.
runner. He's a
Yeah.
runner. Yeah, he's a runner.
Okay.
There's runner, mobile, and scrambler.
Yes.
But you can have all three.
So he's a very good like mobile out of the pocket,
QB.
kind of like how Mahomes is.
Yeah.
You know,
Extend
Yeah.
the play.
right.
No.
And Baker, I feel like he's a scrambler.
He's more of a scrambler, but he can get those pesky yards. But if you're not looking, like he can
He can.
sit down there.
That's what I hated about our Kansas City game was when
Just
you can knock down Tyreek Hill, you can lock down Travis Kelce, but then Mahomes just runs, and you're like, well, you can only do so much.
yeah, right.
But besides Kansas City, Bears,
Yeah, Bears. So
they've got a good D.
they have a good D. I think Eddie Goldman's coming back this week for them too. He's a very good interdefensive lineman. I think he plays on the right side. So the offensive line will have some
They're gonna have some
struggle. I wouldn't
trouble.
say trouble, but they have they have some actual good competition this week, at least in the front end.
With at least Mac.
Yeah,
Oh.
we'll come back. So
Jesus.
against the run, they were okay. Chicago was, but Cleveland can still actually do pretty well. It just depends on how they want to scheme.
I feel like
Cleveland's got to run.
Justin Fields has good vision that he could break down our secondary,
Oh, no, you're good.
but
It's weak enough, but they have a very good in terms of personnel depth
they do.
for
They really
secondary.
do.
So I can see him making a good amount of mistakes.
And knock on
Who,
wood.
Justin Fields?
Justin, yes.
Yeah.
And knock on wood. It's still the Bears.
Duh, Bears.
The
Yeah.
bad news Bears.
Yeah, they are bad news. I do agree because they're
Knock
so
on
inconsistent, man. Yeah, knock on wood. They actually have a whole.
Yeah,
I can knock
definitely
on
think it's
every
right.
like tile here, right?
Yeah. Go for
I
it.
knocked on all your wood. There you go. Anywho, hey yo. So, I mean, in terms of like, for people who want to watch this, you can put up a graphic, whatever. We're probably not going to. It's too much time. It's really late.
It's too much work, and
Okay,
the
cool.
podcast.
Yeah,
is
so-
gonna go up soon.
People who want to do this, Cleveland Browns are going to win. I personally, my humble opinion, the line's at
We've
7.
got a good over under.
Yeah, it's actually at 7. Problem is though, I want to see that Browns defense improve. I'd actually take the points for Chicago plus 7, and take the over on total points scored. So I think the point scored is like a 50 or like 49. So take the over on 49. Chicago plus 7 or 7.5 now. I normally get that number early.
It's 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5. Cleveland to win outright because they're going to win.
I
think-
I agree.
Because Cleveland,
We just have too many weapons.
They have too
That
many, yeah,
we
too
have
many
way
weapons.
too many weapons for them to control.
Right.
All right.
And that they can, and Cleveland can take control of games early or middle if they're ever down early.
Because
That's
we
very
were talking
true.
about the other
We
day.
are either
Right.
a first half or a second half team.
Well, I wouldn't say second half, but
Third quarter.
third quarter at the most.
Especially with our
Third
run
quarter.
game.
Maybe
8
this
minutes
week
in.
can be fourth quarter, but I don't want it to be.
I don't want it to be fourth quarter. I want to have a
'Cause I want
absolute
it to be 30 to
blowout
nothing going into the
lead
third
by
quarter, so I
half
can
quarter.
be finally like I can turn it off. Yes, I can do homework now. Hopefully, so we don't choke.
I will never turn it off at the end of the third quarter,
That's
Right.
actually true though.
but I
I've
will
seen
feel
worse.
comfortable with at least a 14-point lead.
Because
going
you
into
never know fucking Mayfield. It'll be like fourth quarter, a minute left, fourth down, 50 yards out him. I'm going to run it. What?
That's true. I mean, I'm
I
supposed to-
believe he
doesn't
did
play.
that like last game. It was
Yeah.
like a third or fourth down, and there was like 12
Oh yeah,
yards.
that's true. You're right.
And he was
did
like,
that
all right,
twice, by the
screw
way.
it, and just ran. And it was like,
He did that
Baker,
twice. He
no.
did that twice in the same game. Just one went left, one went right. It was awesome. It was against
I mean, I
Washington.
believe he got it, but
Yeah.
still.
Oh, he got both of them. It was great.
I was like, Baker,
whole
you're
time-
scaring the crap out of me right now.
Yeah, I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm like, oh, no.
I'm like, I don't see what you're seeing, so
oh
I
my
can't
god, he's
see
gonna
what the
pop
wide
something
receiver
in and out of
is.
his shoulder. Oh.
He's gonna pop his shoulder out of place again.
Accidentally smack someone. Flag.
All right. Well,
Fair
I think
enough.
we've been going for
Right.
a
long
while now.
A solid amount of time this episode.
Solid, very.
Compared to our last episode, it was like 20 minutes because we just wanted to get it out there. And, But
Hashtag content.
thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for
Pleasure. I'm
coming
gonna
on,
be back here
Parkman.
soon, by the way. I just
Oh.
don't know when.
Shout out your Twitter handle.
Yes, it is at Parker Center. I changed it from Vanilla Man at PARKERSCENTER. It's literally
Perfect.
just
Yes.
We will put it
Center.
in the description. We might put some graphic up on the video if we can figure it out. We're kind of still working on it. Appreciate you coming out. Hopefully,
love
we
being
can
here.
see you again soon.
Yeah.
appreciate it.
We
gentlemen.
love talking about the
Love it.
Browns. Love talking about sports in general.
Yep.
Yeah, like
Hopefully
we've been
every-
saying, Parker's our sports guy.
Hopefully, everything goes good for you
I'm
with
sure this is
with
okay.
school. Hopefully, your Twitter keeps blowing up.
Yeah.
Because,
There you
holy
go.
crap, your Twitter's been going off.
Yeah, bro. It's on my
Maybe
go
give us a
to.
little shout out.
Yeah, every time I log on, it's Parker.
Exactly.
So many likes, so many retweets. I'm like,
Right.
man, I'm in the wrong industry.
So, you guys got anything else to say?
No.
I'd say this is a pretty good
I think it was a
episode.
great
Yeah, I was
episode.
gonna say, halfway through, it just kind of divulged into you and me just talking football. So
Yeah,
I
it
think
really
it
did.
really
but
did. We'll have more diverse topics.
believe
Shit
me,
happens.
He will be back another time, and
Oh,
there'll
yeah.
be a lot
We
more
won't
talking.
guarantee.
with everyone
We'll,
else.
Yeah.
we'll game plan. No pun intended.
Appreciate you guys listening. Like, comment, share.
Let us know what you think of the video.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Peace out.
See you guys.